Yo, what's good, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Logue, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like and are subscribed to the channel. It is absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. Right? Now, first off, I want to get started by saying that I appreciate all the subscribers that I have, right? Like, it's really cool interacting with people and the people that email me and ask me questions. I feel like I have some of the best people right there, right? Because I never know what to expect when I go in my email and I look up at the questions that people ask me, right? Because it's always so random. Like it'll go from a gang topic to a science thing to a religious thing to a, you know what I mean? And I like that, right? Because I like to talk about, multiple conversations. I don't like to be stuck just on one subject, right? I feel it's bad when somebody gets stuck just, on one thing, right? When it comes to overall expanding your mind, right? And your views. So I always like when people always ask me just like a bunch of just random stuff, right? And that's what this channel's for, right? To talk about, anything and everything, right? So, I appreciate all of you guys who do, participate and interact, because you guys already know, if I'm willing to talk, if I'm able to talk about it, I'll go ahead and I'll make a video on it, right? Right here, there's no filters, I'll speak on, anything and everything, and keep that shit 100, right? That's what this channel's about. You'll get no bullshit. I'm not just going to tell you what I think you guys just want to hear. I'm going to tell you what it is. Right? So, just wanted to get that out the way, right? And to me, because I had got into this individual and he said, oh, you ain't nobody. Look at your views and your subscribers, like you're nobody. And that's fine. People are entitled to, to their opinions, right? I'm just shocked that I even get anybody at all, bro. You know what I mean? The fact that people, some people tune in and hear what I have to say in itself blows my mind, right? So I'm grateful for every view that I get. My mission is not, to, accumulate all the, this and that, right? I'm grateful for just what I get because, like I said, who the fuck am I? You know what I mean? But people still tune in, so that's pretty crazy in itself, right? It blows my mind. So I was asked about if I seen the Cat Williams and my thoughts on the Cat Williams thing, right? And I didn't know what this individual was talking about until he brought it up, right? So I went and I looked it up. And, shout out to Shannon Sharpe, man. He's one of my favorite Broncos, bro. You already know. So, yeah, I definitely tuned in after, finding out about it, right? Even though so many people were already making videos and heard about it, I was, like I said, bro. It's just so much content out there to watch, right? Now, so what are my thoughts on what Cat Williams says? Cat Williams had made several good points in certain things, and in certain other things, I felt like his pride, was chipping away, right? He kind of let his pride get the best of him at some points, right? But some points, were just because somebody's pride got the best of them here doesn't mean that everything he was saying was just blown out of proportion or manipulated and stuff like that, right? So not to say none of that, right? So what he said about the truth is very true, right? Why would he be looked as being salty or being looked as petty? For all he's merely doing is telling the truth. Like, if somebody is telling a lie right now, this person comes and tells the truth. How is this guy the bad person? How is he the bad guy? Why are we allowing the world to think that it's okay to lie and for people to be comfortable with the lies, right? Like, for people to be misled and lied to, right? Like, how is somebody coming now and telling them, no, that's not what happened, and telling the truth? How is that him now the bad guy? The fact that the world wants to shape it in that way is ridiculous. You can't be mad at somebody for merely coming and spitting the truth. He's not being petty. He's not being, because I heard Arius Spates, he had said that, like, why would you come out and say this? Like, this was not necessary. Like, why would you do that? Why would he come and tell the truth? How is he a bad guy for coming and telling the truth, bro? People could say, yeah, there's no need for it. So it's okay to be lied to than for somebody to come and tell the truth? Is that what you're telling me? That it's better if people just bathe in the lies than to accept the truth? What weird world do we live in? You know what I mean? Be mad at the person for lying. Be mad at the person for creating the lie and spreading the lie. That's who you should be mad at, not for the person now coming and telling the truth. Can't be mad at that person. When you're hating on somebody and when you're actually trying to bring somebody down is when you're making up shit about them. You get what I'm saying? When you're calling them names. When you're looking to make them seem like if they're weirdos or some shit like that. That's not what Cat Williams did. Cat Williams did come and set the record straight and told, his truth. Right? Now, hold on. That's not to say that everything that Cat Williams was saying was truthful, right? Because as I was observing the interview, right, and I watched it twice, right? So I was getting a feel of, the first time I heard it was just audio, and the second time was visual, right? I wanted to see, his expressions, his posture, because that all tells you about an individual, especially when he's talking about his overall, feelings and getting stuff out of his chest, right? Is going to tell you a lot about an individual, right? And there was some deception in there, right? I feel like there was some times where his own pride got the best of him, right? Like where certain people took shots at him, right? And he took offense to it, especially, he himself saying he's so competitive and stuff like that, right? So he took offense of, what they were saying about him, that he went a little bit extra on these individuals and maybe inflating the situation or inflating, the certain things, right? Maybe spreading some misinformation himself right there, right? Because I seen Ice Cube come out and set some record straight on his behalf, right? And what Ice Cube set the record straight on makes sense to what I felt like Cat Williams, and this was before I even watched the Ice Cube one, right? But it made sense on when Cat Williams was talking about the scenario, right? And it made sense about his demeanor and his tone at that point, right? When he was discussing that point right there, I felt like yes, he was in his feelings right there, right? Right? You know what I mean? When you're in your feelings, you know what I mean? You kind of go, So I felt like right there, I felt like there was times in that interview where he did that, right? Where, some individuals took shots at him and he didn't like it, and he went out there and he maybe, exaggerated or, spread some misinformation himself, right? But that's not to say that what he was saying was a lie and stuff like that. I believe a lot of the stuff he was saying, right? It made sense, right? But like I said, that's not to say that he wasn't making any errors in his interview himself, right? Because as social creatures, as us, our emotions do tend to get the best of everybody, not just Cat Williams. Nobody is immune to this, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're emotional creatures. It happens. The emotions will get the best. Our emotions have gotten the best of each and every person out there at one point or another. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like a lot of people do get caught up in their feelings, right? And social media just allows people to express themselves right on the fly, right? And it creates entertainment, right? But this is what it is. When you throw yourself out there and you spit your word, right, in an area now where people could voice their opinions and their point of views, everyone is aware of that. So you can't be mad now when somebody disagrees with you, or, I have people that disagree with me in my videos all the time, bro. And it doesn't bother me, bro, because I know that they're entitled to those opinions. They're entitled to disagree with me. You know what I mean? And I like to, have conversations, that way maybe, at the end of our conversation, maybe they'll get me to see it from their perspective. We can't all come in here with egos and feel like what we're saying is, right, and that nobody could, teach you anything, or that you can't look at it from another person's perspective, or the possibility that you could be wrong. So, I feel like people, especially when they're in the what do you call it? The Hollywood industry, right? Whether it's athletes or music or movies or whatever, right? Yes, what keeps the lights on in your house is the masses, is these people, right? So they're entitled to voice their opinion and stuff. That's your fan base. They're entitled to their voices and to be heard themselves, right? And when you put yourself out there, you already know you're liable to get, critiqued, bro. You can't be mad at that. You know what I mean? So to be taking shots at them, like, oh, fucking people, what the woo. Don't be mad at them, bro, just because you don't like what you're hearing. Doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it facts for you to be getting upset, right? And maybe hear them out. Maybe some of the things that they're saying, maybe, could help you. Or, just because someone is not rich or in this Hollywood nightlife like you, doesn't mean that they can't show you something. Doesn't mean that they don't know nothing more than you know. Everyone out there could teach somebody something, bro. Somebody out there knows something that you don't know, and they could teach you that. So it doesn't hurt to hear people out, you know what I mean? And you don't have to. And how people say that, you don't have to let these insults get to you either. You know what I mean? So overall, I felt like, Cat Williams, got a lot of stuff out of his chest. I felt like he was being truthful in a lot of things, but I also feel like his, pride did get the best of him in certain areas here and there as well. Right? But it's no secret, or it's not a surprise to see that people, do people dirty or take advantage or lie. I mean, that's within humans, bro. You have liars within people. Just because they're movie stars, athletes, celebrities, rappers, doesn't mean that they don't lie. Doesn't mean that they don't make up stories. Doesn't mean that everything that they say is fucking true and gold. They're just like everybody else in this planet. No different. Just because they're successful doesn't make them immune to what it is, right? So just like every other person out there lies or has faults to them or makes mistakes, so do they. They are not perfect. Even though they're Hollywood elite, doesn't mean that they're perfect. It doesn't mean that they're immune to these behaviors. Just like if you have liars and weirdos and all that in among society, you also have them in Hollywood and stuff like that. So it should come as no surprise or a shock to somebody that some of these people may have done people dirty or stole lines, or, you know what I mean? Because you see that shit, on a day-to-day in regular society, right? But like I said, bro, these people are not immune to that just because they're Hollywood elite. And see, I think people put them so high up that they often forget that sometimes. They're just like everybody else, so they're going to make errors and have made errors and have skeletons in their closet, just like, people. Well, some, right? But they are no different to these behaviors. So I wasn't shocked to hear, what Cat Williams was saying, right? Because people experience it on a day-to-day, so why would it be so far-fetched to see it like that these people display the same behaviors? I mean, aren't they human? But I'm just saying, overall, that's just my personal opinion on the, what did you guys think? Have you guys seen it? Was your opinion on the matter that happened? But yeah, Shadow, yeah.